Joining me on GCS Today is Catina Ford. She is a teacher assistant at Tryon Elementary School, and she is the current Gaston County Teacher Assistant of the Year. Catina, it's great to see you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, so tell us, what was it like to win Gaston County Teacher Assistant of the Year?
It was amazing. I was like really surprised and shocked, not only to be selected from my peers here at Tryon Elementary as the Tryon Teacher Assistant of the Year here, to be selected by the committee. It was really awesome because they only got to see me one time perform, and they watched me for about an hour. And I was really nervous about it, but I know that everything I did was natural. Everything I did was, the students, they were aware of where they needed to be, what needed to be done. And I do believe they love that about me. They love my enthusiasm and everything. And I was just really, totally shocked.
So why do you think you were chosen as the Teacher Assistant of the Year? What do you think that they saw in you, the selection committee? What did they notice most about you?
I do think the first thing they noticed was the children, how they interacted with me. I know all the students here because I do teach kindergarten. I'm a TA, kindergarten teacher assistant. So I meet them right off. So I know most of all the students here by first name basis. I know their abilities. I know what they can or cannot do. I think my enthusiasm rubs off on the students. So when they see that I'm enthused, it rubs off on them, and it gives them the jump starts them to, they want to learn. They're motivated because of me. And I do believe they saw that when the committee came in. I called in my small groups, and it was just a spontaneous, I was constantly rotating. And like I said, it was just natural. I would call group A. They knew who group A was. I didn't even have to call them by name. They got the materials. They knew what to expect. My second group, when they were really impressed with my ESL group, because over the summer, during COVID, when we were out, right before COVID, let me back up. But right before COVID, when we were dismissed from school, our classroom we got two ESL students that came in. And the teacher was like, okay, Miss Ford, they're yours. I was nervous because I knew no Spanish. I didn't know how to communicate with them. And I felt really embarrassed by that because I'm a TA, I'm a mother at first, and I want to be able to communicate with all children. And I just told myself, I'm going to teach myself. I'm going to make myself better. So when I come back to Tryon, I'm going to make myself special. And that's what I did. And I was able to not only communicate with parents as well, but the students too. And I looked up and I was teaching some of the teachers here basic phrases that they can communicate with the students.
And if I'm recalling correctly, you created some type of booklet to help with learning Spanish.
Yes, during the summer, I made like this orange little booklet, just simple phrases like "Darse la suerte," turn around, "lavarse las manos," wash your hands, "asiéntate tu tostero," sit on your bottom, simple things. And I put 4 teachers, so I learned so they can learn. So I had to teach myself first. And that's the big thing about being an educator, whether you're a teacher assistant, a bus driver, you need to always educate yourself so you can give back to these kids and help them be motivated about learning.
I think what you just mentioned, those are some of the qualities that really make you stand out as a teacher assistant.
Yes, it does. It does. And also other qualities that make me stand out, I'm trustworthy, I'm approachable, and that's what you need. When you're a teacher assistant, they need to know that they can come to you, because sometimes they're not going to go to their teacher, but again, they come to me. Most of them come to me all the time. And often I'll go to the guidance counselor and I'm like, I don't know why they always come to me. And I had a couple of students to tell me, Miss Ford, you're nice, you're kind, you're so approachable. We can tell you something and you're understanding. And sometimes I can help them with the problem. Sometimes I can't, and I will pass that information on to who needs to help them. And I think that they do love that about me. Another quality is I'm patient. They never see me get angry at all. And you have to have that when you're a teacher assistant, not only because sometimes, you'll see your teacher maybe get frustrated. Both of you don't need to be frustrated at the same time, because you got to maintain that classroom management. So sometimes if your teacher, she may just say to me, okay, Miss Ford, take this one and work with them. I'm always patient. And I think that's another quality that you have to have when you're an educator, is patience. And
And I
being
think
prepared.
being prepared as well. That's
Yes.
right. I think that you also have to understand the importance of having connections, a relationship with your students,
Mhm.
so that they can trust you. They can come to you, they can
Yeah.
talk to you, and they can enjoy being around you and being in your class. I think all of those things are the ingredients that it takes to be a good educator.
Mhm. It is, and not only that, I have a couple of students that come up to me and I say, Miss Ford, you push us, because they know I'm not going to criticize them. I'm always asking myself, how can I make them better? And that's one thing I do take my work home. Sometimes I'm like, okay, student A, he's behind. I know he's not getting the support at home. So how can I make it easier for him to make it fun for them? And every kid is different. That's another quality that a good TA has to realize, that each child has their own goals and they have different abilities. And so you need to home in on that too as well.
So tell us about your day as a teacher assistant. What is it like to work as a teacher assistant?
Well, here at Tryon Elementary, I'm the first face that the students see, because I'm in the cafeteria, so I see them first thing in the morning. And from there, I learn whether if a kid is already having a bad day, I learn about what they did over the weekend, if homework was done. Then when I get into the classroom, it's just jam-packed with helping the teacher, doing small groups, working one-on-one, and helping her, making sure, is this lesson plan going to work? Did this work, Miss Ford? No, this doesn't work. So me and her, we're always constantly working as a team. And that's also another quality that a TA needs to have, being a team player with her teacher and being there, being a big support for her teacher.
So talk to us about what you enjoy most about your work, and why do you believe that your work is important to the success of your students and the success of your school?
Well, the importance of my work is, first, I bring diversity to my school. And I do love that about Tryon, because our students are so diverse. Just to know that I'm someone that is really truly dedicated to these kids. And me, myself being a parent of having 3 kids that all attended Gaston County Schools and they've gone to college. And I know what it took to get them to that level. And so I try to bring that to the table to these students too. And I expect high expectations no matter what their level is. Like I said, I will try to implement a plan for each individual student. So if I see a child is misbehaving in class, it doesn't necessarily mean they have a behavior problem. It could be that they're bored. That means, okay, Miss Ford, you need to up the game. Let's give this child some advanced work to do. Let's just see if that will decrease that behavior. And most of the time it does work. And then if there is some behavior issues, that's when we get together as a team. We get with our administrator, Miss LaFevers, and we problem solve. And she'll say, hey, Miss Ford, implement this plan, and then I'm on it. And that's what makes me, really good, and I stand out here at work.
So let's talk about your students. What
Oh,
what do you think your students would say about you? If I were interviewing your students, what would they tell me about you?
oh, they would say Miss Ford is kind, Miss Ford rocks, Miss Ford is my favorite. I get where Miss Ford, thank you because you helped me with my sight words. Miss Ford, you made coming to school when I was in kindergarten so smooth. I've had a couple of parents even tell me last year their students were nervous. They were nervous. But when they saw how enthusiastic their child was ready to come to school, and they would say, I love Miss Ford to death. I've had one student today, he told me, he says, Miss Ford, you're just so helpful. Thank you for helping me solve all my problems for me. One of my ESL students the other day, she told me, she says, Miss Ford, you are simply the best. And when I asked her why, she says, because you listen. And I'm just going to sum it up with that right there. I know that I am the best, and that's why I was Gaston County Teacher Assistant of the Year.
So your students, obviously, they learn a lot from you.
Mhm.
But what would you say that you have learned most
from your students? Well, I believe what I've learned most from my students is to never give up, to always believe in yourself, to have confidence in myself, because there's sometimes where I feel like I don't have it, but I realize I do have confidence, because if I did not have the confidence that they give me, none of my plans, none of the things, the strategies that I use work. So they boost my confidence when I come in here. They know that seeing them, I know that I'm doing something right. Well, Catina, we are so very pleased with what you do at Tryon Elementary School. We know that your students appreciate you. We know the parents appreciate everything that you do at Tryon. And once again, we want to congratulate you on being selected as the Gaston County Teacher Assistant of the Year. And we want to thank you for taking time to be with us here on GCS Today. Thank you. It's my pleasure. Thank you. And it's truly our honor.